The carriage wheels stopped moving. Adeline pressed her gloved hand against the cold window. Rain made everything blurry outside. She could see the shape of a massive stone house through the water drops. No, not a house. A mansion. The kind that swallowed people whole. "We have arrived, miss," the driver called. Adeline's heart beat fast. Too fast. She counted to 5 like her mother taught her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It did not help. She was here to lie. The advertisement had been simple. Needed. A woman of good standing to play the role of wife for 7 days. Discretion required. Payment generous. She had torn the paper from the coffee house wall before anyone else could see it. Her hands shook then too. 7 days. She could pretend for 7 days. She had pretended her whole life that she was not hungry, that her father's debts did not keep her awake at night, that she did not need help. 7 more days would be easy. The door opened. A butler stood there with an umbrella. His face showed nothing. Not surprise, not judgment, nothing. "Miss Adeline Harper?" he asked. "Yes." "His Grace is waiting." His Grace. The Duke. She had never met a duke before. She had never met anyone who needed a fake wife before either. The butler led her through halls that seemed to have no end. Paintings of serious men and women watched her from the walls. Their eyes followed her. She kept her chin up. Her mother always said a straight spine could hide a breaking heart. They stopped at a door made of dark wood. The butler knocked twice. "Enter," a voice said from inside. The butler opened the door. Adeline stepped through. The room was a study. Books lined every wall from floor to ceiling. A fire burned in the fireplace. The warmth touched her cold skin. And there, standing by the window with his back to her, was a man. He was tall, very tall. His shoulders were broad under his black coat. His hair was dark and slightly too long. It touched his collar. "Miss Harper," he said without turning. "You are late." "The rain slowed the carriage," Adeline said. She kept her voice steady. "I do not accept excuses." He turned then. Adeline forgot to breathe. He was beautiful. Not in a soft way, in a sharp way, like a knife could be beautiful. His face was all angles, strong jaw, high cheekbones, eyes so dark they looked black. But there was something else too, something cold, something that made her want to step back and step forward at the same time. "I am Duke Thorne Ashford," he said. "You may call me Your Grace." "Your Grace." She curtsied. Her legs felt weak. He walked toward her, slow steps. He moved like someone who had never hurried in his life. He stopped 3 feet away. His eyes moved over her face, her dress, her hands. "You will do," he said. Something hot flashed in Adeline's chest. Anger, maybe. "I am honored by your approval." His eyebrow lifted, just a little. "You have a tongue. Good. My grandmother would not believe I married a mouse." "Your grandmother?" "Lady Margaret Ashford. She arrives tomorrow with half the ton. They believe I am married. You will help me prove it." "For 7 days?" "Yes." "And then?" "Then you disappear. I pay you £500. You never speak of this again." £500. Her father's debts would be paid. She could buy new dresses, real food, maybe even keep their house. "I agree," Adeline said. Something flickered in his dark eyes. Surprise, maybe, or respect. "Most women ask why." "I do not care why." "You should." He turned away from her, walked back to the window. "My grandmother believes a wife will cure my reputation. She has threatened to cut off my funds if I do not produce one. I chose to hire instead of marry." "That seems sensible." He laughed. The sound was not happy. "Sensible, yes, that is what I am." Adeline watched his back. His shoulders were tight, tense, like he was holding something heavy. "What do I need to know?" she asked. "Everything." He turned again. This time his face was blank, empty. "We married 3 months ago, in secret. You are the daughter of a country gentleman. No one knows your family. We met at a house party. I was charmed." The way he said charmed made it sound like a curse. "We will share a suite," he continued. "Separate rooms but a connecting door. You will wear my mother's jewels, sit beside me at dinner, smile when I speak, touch my arm occasionally. Nothing more." "Nothing more," Adeline repeated. "This is a business arrangement, Miss Harper, not a romance." "I understand." "Do you?" He stepped closer. Too close. She could smell him now. Soap and something else. Something warm. "Because if you develop feelings, this arrangement ends. Immediately." Adeline lifted her chin. "I do not develop feelings, Your Grace." His eyes narrowed. He studied her face like she was a puzzle. "We shall see." But she didn't know what he meant by that. The bedroom was larger than her entire house. A 4-poster bed sat in the center. The curtains were deep blue velvet. A vanity stood near the window, and there, laid across the bed, was a dress. Adeline walked to it slowly. She touched the fabric. Silk. Real silk. The color was emerald green. It would make her eyes look brighter. "For tonight's dinner," a voice said. Adeline spun around. A maid stood in the doorway. She was young, maybe Adeline's age. She had kind eyes. "I am Mary," the maid said. "I will help you dress." "Thank you." Mary moved quickly. She unlaced Adeline's traveling dress, helped her into a chemise that felt like air. Then the silk dress slid over her head. It fit perfectly, like it was made for her. "His Grace has good taste," Mary said as she buttoned the back. "He chose this?" "He chooses everything," Mary's fingers worked fast. "He is particular." Adeline heard something in her voice. Not fear, but caution. "What is he like? Truly?" Mary's hands paused, just for a second. "He is fair. Demanding, but fair. He does not smile much." "Why?" "That is not my story to tell." Mary finished the last button. "There, look." Adeline turned to the mirror. She did not recognize herself. The dress hugged her waist. The neckline showed her collarbones. Her dark hair looked almost black against the green. She looked like someone who belonged here. She looked like a duchess. "Beautiful," Mary whispered. A knock sounded at the door. 3 sharp raps. "Come in," Adeline called. The door opened. Duke Thorne stood there. He had changed too. His coat was deep grey. His cravat was perfectly tied. He looked like he stepped out of a painting. His eyes met hers in the mirror. Something passed over his face, too quick to name. "You clean up well," he said. "As do you, Your Grace." His jaw tightened. "Thorne. When we are alone, you may call me Thorne." Thorne. She tested the name. It felt strange on her tongue. Sharp. "Dinner is in 10 minutes. My grandmother arrived early. She is eager to meet you." Adeline's stomach dropped. "Early? You said tomorrow." She changed her plans. She does that. He stepped into the room. Mary quietly left. "Remember, we are madly in love. You adore me. I worship you. We cannot keep our hands off each other." "Cannot keep our—" Not literally. His mouth almost smiled. Almost. "But we must appear close." "How close?" He held out his arm. "Let me show you." Adeline walked to him. She slipped her hand through his arm. His muscles were hard under her fingers, solid. "Look at me," he said softly. She did. His face was very close now. She could see gold flecks in his dark eyes, a small scar above his left eyebrow. "When you look at me," he said, "you must look like you see heaven." What do you see when you look at me? The question slipped out. His eyes searched hers. A mystery. Then he led her from the room. The dining room was enormous. A table stretched down the center. It could seat 30 people easily. Candles flickered everywhere. Their light made shadows dance on the walls. An old woman sat at the head of the table. She wore black silk and diamonds. Her hair was white as snow. But her eyes were sharp. They cut across the room and landed on Adeline. "So," the woman said, "this is the girl who trapped my grandson." Adeline's spine went straight. Thorne's arm tightened under her hand. "Grandmother," he said. His voice was smooth, calm. "May I present my wife, Adeline Ashford. Adeline, this is Lady Margaret." "Your Grace." Adeline curtsied low. "Come closer, child. Let me see you." Thorne led Adeline to the table. They stopped beside Lady Margaret. The old woman reached out. Her fingers were thin but strong. She lifted Adeline's chin. She said. "Pretty enough. Good bones. But are you clever?" "I try to be, Your Grace." "Try?" Lady Margaret's eyebrow arched. "One either is or is not." "Then I am clever enough to know when I am being tested." Silence filled the room. Thorne went very still beside her. Then Lady Margaret laughed. The sound was surprisingly warm. "Oh, I like her. Sit, child, sit." Thorne pulled out a chair for Adeline. She sat. He took the seat beside her. So close their arms almost touched. Servants brought food. Soup that smelled like heaven. Bread that was still warm. Roasted meat and vegetables Adeline could not name. She ate slowly, carefully, like a lady. "Tell me," Lady Margaret said between bites, "how did you meet my grandson?" Adeline's mind went blank. She looked at Thorne. He smiled, actually smiled. It changed his whole face, made him look younger, softer. "At the Weatherby house party. She was standing in the garden. The sun was setting behind her. I thought she was an angel." His voice was so sincere, so tender. Adeline almost believed him. "And you?" Lady Margaret looked at Adeline. "What did you think?" "I thought he was the rudest man I had ever met." Thorne's smile grew. "I asked if she was lost. She said only fools and poets get lost in gardens. I asked which one I was." "What did you say?" Lady Margaret leaned forward. Adeline looked at Thorne. His dark eyes held hers. "I said he was both." "And then?" Then he laughed. Adeline kept her eyes on Thorne. I had never heard anyone laugh like that, like he was surprised by his own joy. Something real flickered across Thorne's face, something that looked like pain. "3 weeks later, we were married," he said softly. Lady Margaret sat back. She watched them both. Her sharp eyes missed nothing. "You seem very comfortable with each other." "We are." Thorne reached over. He took Adeline's hand. His skin was warm. His thumb brushed over her knuckles. "I cannot imagine life without her." Adeline's heart did something strange. It skipped, then beat too fast. Yet something felt wrong. The way he touched her was perfect, too perfect, like he had practiced. "How wonderful," Lady Margaret said, but she did not sound convinced. Dinner continued. They talked about the weather, the season, people Adeline did not know. She smiled and nodded, laughed at the right moments. Thorne kept touching her. Small touches, a hand on her shoulder, fingers brushing her wrist. Each touch felt like fire. When dinner ended, Lady Margaret stood. "I am tired. Tomorrow we will have tea, just us women, Adeline. I want to know everything about you." "Of course, Your Grace." Lady Margaret left. The door closed behind her. The room suddenly felt very quiet. Adeline pulled her hand from Thorne's. "She does not believe us." "No." He stood, walked to the window. "She is too clever." "Then what do we do?" "We convince her." He turned. His face was hard again, cold. Tomorrow you will tell her about our courtship, our wedding, our future. You will make her believe. How? By lying better. He walked past her, stopped at the door. Get some rest, Miss Harper. Day 1 is over. 6 more to go. Then he left. Adeline sat alone in the big room. The candles burned low. She looked at her hand, the one he had held. She could still feel his touch. This is business, she told herself, nothing more. But her heart was a liar. Adeline did not sleep well. The bed was too soft. The room was too quiet. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Thorne's face, the way he had looked at her during dinner, like she was real. But she was not real. She was pretend. Morning came too soon. Mary helped her dress in a day gown, pale pink with white lace. Her hair was pinned up, simple but elegant. Her Grace is waiting in the morning room, Mary said. I will show you. The morning room was bright. Sunlight poured through tall windows. Lady Margaret sat in a chair by the fire. A tea service was laid out on a small table. Sit, child, Lady Margaret said. Adeline sat, her hands folded in her lap. Lady Margaret poured tea. Do you take sugar? Yes, please, 2. Sweet tooth, Lady Margaret smiled. I was the same at your age. She handed Adeline a cup. Now, tell me, do you love my grandson? Adeline nearly dropped the cup. Yes, of course. Convince me. I do not understand. Love is not a word, Adeline. It is a feeling, an action. So tell me, what do you love about him? Adeline's mind raced. She thought about Thorne, his cold eyes, his sharp words, the way he held her hand like it mattered. I love that he does not pretend, Adeline said slowly. He does not smile when he is sad. He does not laugh when he is angry. He is honest, even when honesty is hard. Lady Margaret's eyes softened. What else? I love his hands. The words came easier now. They are strong but gentle. When he touches me, I feel safe. And? I love that he sees me. Not what I should be, not what I could be, just me. The room went quiet. Lady Margaret sipped her tea. That was a very pretty speech. It was the truth. And strangely it was, at least parts of it. Tell me about your wedding. Adeline's heart sank. She knew nothing about their fake wedding. Thorne had not prepared her for this. It was small, she said carefully. Just us and a vicar. Where? A chapel, in the country. Which country? Does it matter? Adeline met Lady Margaret's eyes. We were married. That is all that matters. Unless you were not married at all. The words hung in the air like a threat. I do not understand, Adeline said. Lady Margaret set down her cup. My grandson is many things, brilliant, stubborn, wounded, but he is not a fool. And yet he married a woman no one knows, in a place no one can verify, without telling his family. That sounds like a fool to me. Or a man in love. Or a man with a secret. Lady Margaret leaned forward. What is he hiding, Adeline? Nothing. Everyone hides something. Her eyes pierced through Adeline. What are you hiding? Adeline's throat went dry. She could not breathe, could not think. The door opened. Thorne walked in. He looked between them. His face showed nothing. Grandmother, he said smoothly, I hope you are not interrogating my wife. Simply getting to know her. How kind. He moved to Adeline, held out his hand. Come, my dear. I thought we could walk the gardens. Adeline took his hand, stood. That sounds lovely. They left the room together. Thorne did not speak until they were outside. The air was cold. Adeline shivered. Thorne shrugged off his coat, draped it over her shoulders. She suspects. I know. We need to be more convincing. How? Adeline looked up at him. She is too smart. She sees through everything. Not everything. His jaw was tight. Tonight there is a ball. Half the ton will be there. We will dance, we will laugh, we will make them all believe. And your grandmother? We will make her believe most of all. He stopped walking, turned to face her. This arrangement must work, Adeline. I cannot fail. Why? The question burst out. Why does this matter so much? His eyes went hard. That is not your concern. You are asking me to lie for you, to risk my reputation. I think it is my concern. You are being paid. £500 does not buy my soul. Her voice was louder than she meant. Tell me why. Tell me the truth. Thorne stared at her. A muscle worked in his jaw. For a moment she thought he would walk away. Then he spoke. His voice was low, rough. My father lost everything. Before he died, he gambled away our fortune, our lands, everything. My grandmother is the only one with money left. If she cuts me off, I lose the estate. I lose the people who depend on me. Tenant families who have nowhere else to go. Adeline's anger faded. You are protecting them. I am protecting what is mine. It is the same thing. His eyes met hers, really met them. She saw something there, something raw. You do not know me, Miss Harper. I am beginning to. He looked away. The ball starts at 8. Mary will help you dress. Then he walked away, left her standing alone in the garden. But she didn't know that he watched her from his study window, that his hands shook as he poured a drink, that he whispered her name like a prayer. The ball gown was the most beautiful thing Adeline had ever seen. Deep sapphire blue. The bodice was covered in tiny crystals that caught the light. The skirt was full and soft. When she moved, she felt like water. Mary pinned diamonds in her hair, real diamonds. They were cold against her scalp. You look like a queen, Mary whispered. Adeline looked at herself in the mirror. She did not see herself anymore. She saw Duchess Adeline Ashford, a woman who did not exist. Thorne was waiting at the bottom of the stairs. He wore black and silver. He looked like a prince from a dark fairy tale. His eyes lifted as she descended. They widened, just a little. You are stunning, he said when she reached him. Thank you. He offered his arm. Ready? No. His mouth twitched, almost a smile. Good. Neither am I. They entered the ballroom together. Music filled the air. People danced and laughed. Every eye turned to watch them. The Duke and Duchess of Ashford, the butler announced. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Adeline felt them like touches, curious, judging, hungry. Smile, Thorne murmured. You are madly in love with me, remember? Adeline smiled. It felt fake on her face. Lady Margaret appeared from the crowd. She wore silver silk. You came. How wonderful. We would not miss it, Thorne said. Dance with your wife, Thorne. Show them all how much you love her. It was a command, not a request. Thorne led Adeline to the dance floor. The music changed to a waltz. He placed one hand on her waist, the other held her hand. His touch burned through her gloves. Follow my lead, he said. Then they were moving, spinning across the floor. Adeline had danced before, at small country gatherings, but never like this. Never with someone who moved like music lived in his bones. You dance well, she said. So do you. Where did you learn? My mother taught me. His voice was soft, distant, before she died. I am sorry. It was a long time ago. They turned. Her skirt flared out. She felt weightless. Everyone is watching us, she said. Let them. They think we are in love. We are supposed to be. His dark eyes found hers. So look at me like you are. Adeline did. She looked at him, really looked. His strong jaw, the scar above his eyebrow, the way his hair fell just slightly over his forehead, the sadness that lived behind his eyes even when he smiled. Something shifted in her chest, something warm and terrifying. Like that, he whispered. Exactly like that. The music ended. They stopped moving but did not step apart. His hand was still on her waist. Her hand was still in his. Thorn, she said, but she did not know what came next. Nephew! A voice boomed across the room. Thorn's face went blank. He dropped his hands, stepped back. A man pushed through the crowd. He was older, thick around the middle. His face was red like he drank too much. I heard you finally got married. Had to see it for myself. Uncle Frederick. Thorn's voice was ice. And this must be the lucky lady. Frederick looked Adeline up and down. His eyes made her skin crawl. Pretty thing? Where did you find her? That is none of your concern. Everything about this family is my concern, especially since you will probably lose it all. He laughed. The sound was ugly. Gambling debts, just like your father. I am nothing like my father. We will see. Frederick leaned closer. I give this marriage 6 months, then you will be begging me for money. Thorn's hands curled into fists. Adeline saw violence in his eyes. She stepped forward, slipped her hand into Thorn's, squeezed. You are mistaken, sir, she said clearly. My husband is nothing like his father. He is better, stronger, and he will never beg, especially not from a man who smells like cheap wine and regret. The room went silent. Frederick's face turned purple. How dare! I dare because I am his wife. Adeline lifted her chin. And you will speak to him with respect, or you will leave. Frederick sputtered, opened his mouth, closed it. Then he turned and pushed back through the crowd. Slowly the music started again. People began to talk, to dance. But Adeline could feel their eyes still. Thorn's hand tightened on hers. You did not have to do that. Yes, I did. Why? She looked up at him. Because he was hurting you, and I could not watch. Something broke in his eyes, something that had been holding tight. Adeline. There you are. Lady Margaret appeared beside them. Her face was bright, pleased. That was quite a display. I apologize, Adeline said. I should not have. You should have, Lady Margaret smiled, a real smile. No one has put Frederick in his place in years. Well done. She looked between them. You two are very convincing tonight. Thank you, grandmother. Almost too convincing. Her sharp eyes studied them. One might think you actually care for each other. Thorn's face went smooth. We do. Lady Margaret patted Adeline's hand. Come, child. I want to introduce you to some people. She led Adeline away. Thorn stood alone on the dance floor. He watched Adeline disappear into the crowd. Yet something felt wrong. His chest hurt, like someone had reached inside and squeezed his heart. This was supposed to be simple, a business arrangement, 7 days and done. But nothing about Adeline was simple. The evening dragged on. Adeline met duchess after duchess, lord after lord. They all smiled, asked questions, tried to find cracks in her story. She did not break. By midnight, her feet ached. Her face hurt from smiling. She wanted nothing more than to disappear. Tired? A voice asked. She turned. Thorn stood there. He held 2 glasses of champagne. You look like you need this. I need to sleep for a year. 1 glass first. He handed it to her. She drank. The bubbles tickled her nose. Your uncle is a terrible man. Yes. Why does he hate you? He wanted my father's title. When my father died, it went to me instead. He has never forgiven that. Thorne stared into his glass. He spreads rumors, lies. He wants to see me fail. He will not. How can you be sure? Because you are too stubborn to fail. He looked at her then. Really looked. You keep surprising me. Good. No, not good. He set down his glass. Adeline, this is… Thorne! A woman's voice called. They both turned. A beautiful woman glided toward them. She had golden hair and perfect skin. Her dress was red silk. She moved like she owned the world. Penelope, Thorne said. His voice was flat. I heard you were married. Penelope's eyes slid to Adeline. How unexpected. May I present my wife? Adeline, this is Lady Penelope Crane. How lovely to meet you. Penelope's smile was sharp. Though I must say, Thorne, I never thought you would marry. Especially after… After? Adeline asked. Oh. Penelope's eyes went wide, innocent. He did not tell you about our engagement? The floor tilted under Adeline's feet. Engagement? 3 years ago, we were to be married. Until he… Penelope looked at Thorne. How did you put it? I would rather die alone than marry someone I do not love. Such romantic words. Thorne's jaw was stone. That was a long time ago. And yet here you are, married to a stranger. Penelope laughed. The sound was like breaking glass. Love works in mysterious ways, does it not? Excuse us. Thorne took Adeline's arm, led her away quickly. They left the ballroom, walked down empty halls, did not stop until they reached his study. He closed the door behind them. Silence filled the room. You were engaged, Adeline said. Yes. You said you would rather die alone. Yes. So why did you hire me? Her voice rose. Why hire a fake wife when you could have just stayed alone? Because my grandmother was going to choose a bride for me. The words exploded out. She gave me 1 month. Find a wife or she would find one for me. I could not marry someone I did not love again. Again? Adeline stepped closer. You loved Penelope? No. He turned away. I thought I did. But it was not love. It was expectation. Duty. She wanted my title. I wanted to please my family. We would have been miserable. So you hired me instead? Yes. For 7 days. Yes. Adeline laughed. The sound was bitter. And after 7 days? What then? Your grandmother will just find you another bride. This solves nothing. It buys me time. For what? I do not know. He spun to face her. His eyes were wild, desperate. I do not know, I could not do what she wanted. Not again. Not ever again. Adeline saw him then. Really saw him. Not a duke, not a title. Just a man. A wounded, scared man. Thorne, she said softly. This is not going to work. I know. Your grandmother already suspects. Penelope will spread rumors. By tomorrow, the whole ton will know something is wrong. I know. So what do we do? He looked at her. His face was raw, open. We survive the week. Then you leave. And I face whatever comes next. Alone. I am always alone. He said it like it was a fact, like the sky being blue. Adeline's heart cracked. She walked to him, stopped so close she could feel his warmth. You do not have to be. This is fake, Adeline. A game. When it ends... I know. She reached up, touched his face. His skin was warm under her palm. But for now, right now, you are not alone. He closed his eyes, leaned into her touch. You should not be kind to me. Too late. They stood like that, close but not touching. The air between them felt alive, electric. Then Thorne opened his eyes. We should sleep. Tomorrow is day 3. 4 more to go, Adeline whispered. 4 more to go. But neither of them moved. Someone was listening outside the door, but they did not know it yet. Day 3 began with rain. Adeline woke to the sound of it against the windows. Grey light filled her room. She dressed herself, a simple morning gown, her hair loose down her back. She found Thorne in the breakfast room. He sat alone at the long table, a newspaper in his hands. He looked up when she entered. Good morning, she said. Morning. His eyes lingered on her hair. You look different. I got tired of pins. I like it. Something warm bloomed in her chest. She sat across from him, poured herself tea. What are your plans today? He asked. I have tea with your grandmother again. You? Estate business. Tenants to visit. He folded the newspaper. We should have dinner together tonight, alone. Convince the servants we are close. Another performance. Yes. But he did not look at her when he said it. They ate in silence, comfortable silence, like they had done this 100 times before. Thorne, Adeline said. Yes? When this is over, the 7 days, where will you tell people I went? He was quiet for a long moment. I will say you fell ill, that you died. Adeline's cup froze halfway to her mouth. You will kill me off? On paper, yes. How morbid. It is the only way you can disappear completely. She set down her cup. And you will be a widower? Yes. Free to marry again? I will not marry again. His voice was hard, final. Ever? Ever. That seems lonely. I prefer it. Adeline studied his face, the hard lines, the walls. What happened to you, Thorne? What made you like this? Like what? Afraid. His eyes snapped to hers. I am not afraid. You are. You are terrified. Of connection, of love, of anything real. You do not know me. I know enough. She leaned forward. Someone hurt you, badly, and now you hide behind walls and fake wives, but you cannot hide forever. Watch me, he stood. I have to go. Thorne! But he was gone. The door closed behind him with a soft click. Adeline sat alone in the big room. The rain kept falling. She felt hollow inside. This was supposed to be simple. Pretend for 7 days, take the money, leave. But nothing about this was simple anymore. Tea with Lady Margaret was different today. The old woman was quiet, thoughtful. She kept watching Adeline with those sharp eyes. You care for him, Lady Margaret said finally. Adeline's heart jumped. Of course I do. He is my husband. No, Lady Margaret shook her head. You care for him. Truly, I can see it. There was no point in lying. Yes. Does he know? No. Why not tell him? Adeline looked down at her hands. Because in 4 days I will be gone, and it is easier to leave if he does not know. Gone? Lady Margaret's voice sharpened. What do you mean, gone? Too late, Adeline realized her mistake. I just meant, you are not really married, are you? It was not a question. Adeline's blood went cold. Your Grace, how much is he paying you? I do not. How much? The words were sharp, demanding. £500, Adeline whispered. Lady Margaret closed her eyes. That foolish, foolish boy. Please do not be angry with him. He was trying to help. Help! Lady Margaret's eyes flew open. He is lying to everyone. To me, to the ton, to you. To me? Yes, child, to you. Lady Margaret leaned forward. He told you this was business, did he not? That feelings had no place? Yes. He lied. The old woman's voice was soft now, sad. My grandson has been in love with the idea of you for 3 years, ever since Penelope broke his heart. He swore he would never love again, that he would rather hire someone than risk pain. But the moment you walked through that door, I saw it in his eyes. He did not hire you to avoid love. He hired you hoping to find it. Adeline could not breathe. That is not true. Is it not? Think, child. He chose you, not anyone else. You. He chose me because I answered an advertisement. There were 12 other women who answered. He interviewed none of them. Only you. The room spun. Adeline gripped the arms of her chair. Why would he do that? Because he is afraid. My grandson has lost everyone he ever loved. His mother, his father. He could not bear to lose someone again. So he found a way to love you without risk. For 7 days only. Then you would leave, and his heart would be safe. But I am leaving. That was the arrangement. Then you are both fools. Lady Margaret stood. Love is risk, Adeline. It is pain and loss and fear. But it is also joy. And neither of you will ever feel that joy if you keep hiding. She left the room, left Adeline alone with the truth. Thorn had chosen her. Not randomly, not by accident. Her. But he didn't know that she was already in love with him too. Dinner was quiet. Thorn and Adeline sat across from each other. Candles flickered between them. Neither spoke. My grandmother knows, Thorn said finally. Adeline's fork clattered to her plate. How? I told her. He looked tired, defeated. This afternoon, she cornered me in the study. She already suspected. I could not lie any more. What did she say? That I am an idiot. He almost smiled. Her exact words. Will she cut you off? No, he shook his head. Surprisingly, no. She said. He paused, swallowed hard. She said she was proud of me, for trying to protect the estate, even if my method was foolish. So the arrangement can continue? There is no need. He looked at her. You can leave tomorrow. I will still pay you, the full amount. Adeline's heart cracked down the middle. Tomorrow? You have completed your obligation. There is no reason to stay. No reason, she repeated. Her voice sounded far away. I will tell people you were called away. A family emergency. Then in a few months I will announce your death. Quietly. You can start over somewhere. Be free. Free. The word tasted like ashes. Yes. She wanted to scream, to throw her glass across the room, to tell him what his grandmother had said, that he loved her, that he chose her. But she did not. Because maybe Lady Margaret was wrong. Maybe Thorn felt nothing. When do I leave? She asked. First light. I will arrange a carriage. Of course. She stood. Her legs shook. Thank you for dinner, Your Grace. She used his title. Put distance between them. It hurt like a knife. Adeline, he said. She stopped, did not turn. Yes? He was silent for a long moment. Thank you. For everything. You are welcome. Then she left, walked to her room on numb feet. Mary was waiting. She helped Adeline undress, put her in a nightgown, brushed her hair. Are you all right, miss? Mary asked. No. Adeline's voice broke. No, I am not. Tears came then, hot and fast. She could not stop them. Mary held her, said nothing, just held her while she cried. When the tears finally stopped, Adeline felt empty, hollow. "I have to leave tomorrow," she whispered. "I know. I heard. I do not want to go." "Then stay." "He does not want me to stay." "Are you sure?" Mary pulled back, looked at her. "Because I see the way he looks at you, like you are the sun. He looks at me like I am a contract." "No, miss. He looks at you like you are everything." Adeline shook her head. "It does not matter. I am leaving tomorrow." Mary sighed. "Then I will help you pack." They worked in silence, folding dresses, wrapping shoes, putting everything in a trunk. The emerald dress, the ball gown, all of it. Beautiful things for a beautiful lie. When they finished, Adeline stood by the window. The rain had stopped. Stars were out now, bright and cold. "Mary," she said. "Yes, miss." "Do you believe in love?" "I do." "Even when it hurts?" "Especially then." Mary came to stand beside her. "Love that does not hurt is not love at all. It is comfort. And comfort is nice, but it is not worth living for." Adeline closed her eyes. "I think I love him." "I know you do." "He does not love me back." "Are you sure?" "He hired me for a week. That is not love." "Maybe he hired you because he was too scared to find you any other way." Mary squeezed her hand. "Talk to him. Before you leave, tell him the truth." "What if he does not feel the same?" "Then at least you will know." Adeline looked at Mary. "When did you become so wise?" "I read a lot of novels," Mary smiled. "And in every single one, the moment someone gives up is the moment before the miracle. This is not a novel." "Are you sure?" Adeline almost laughed. Almost. She looked at the connecting door, the one that led to Thorne's room. She had never opened it, never crossed that line. Maybe it was time. "Thank you, Mary," she said. "You are welcome, miss. Now go, before you lose your courage." Mary left. Adeline stood alone in her room. She walked to the connecting door. Her hand touched the handle. She could hear movement on the other side. Footsteps, the clink of glass. Her heart pounded. She counted to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then she opened the door. Thorne stood by his window, a glass of whiskey in his hand. He wore only his shirt and trousers. His feet were bare. He looked young, vulnerable. He turned at the sound, saw her, went very still. "Adeline," he said, "I need to tell you something. You should not be here." "I know." She stepped into his room, closed the door behind her. "But I am." He set down his glass. Tomorrow I leave, I know. But tonight I am here, and I need you to listen." His throat worked as he swallowed. "What do you want to say?" "That you are a liar." His eyes widened. "You told me this was business, that feelings had no place. But you lied." She walked toward him. "You feel something. I know you do. I see it in your eyes when you look at me. I feel it when you touch me." "Adeline, stop." "No." She stopped right in front of him. "You are terrified. I understand. You have lost people, you have been hurt. But you cannot let fear rule your life." "I am not afraid." "Yes, you are. You are so afraid that you would rather pay me to leave than ask me to stay." "That is not—" "Ask me to stay, Thorne." Her voice broke. "Please, just ask." He stared at her. His chest rose and fell with quick breaths. "I cannot." "Why?" "Because you will say yes." The words tore out of him. "You will stay and I will love you, and then one day you will leave, or die, or realize I am not worth it, and I cannot—" His voice cracked. "I cannot survive that again." Tears burned in Adeline's eyes. "So you push me away first?" "Yes." "That is not surviving, Thorn. That is hiding." "Then I will hide." He turned away. "Leave, Adeline, please, before I do something foolish." "Like what?" "Like beg you to stay." The words hung in the air between them. Adeline's hands shook. Her heart felt too big for her chest. "You do not have to beg. Just ask." He did not turn, did not move. "Why would you stay?" "Because I love you." Silence. Then slowly Thorn turned. His face was stripped bare, raw. "What did you say?" "I love you." She stepped closer. "I know I should not. I know this was business. But I love you. Your stubborn pride, your hidden kindness, the way you care even when you pretend not to. I love all of it. Adeline, I am not asking you to love me back, but I needed you to know, before I left, I needed you to know that you are worth staying for." He crossed the distance between them in 2 steps. His hands framed her face. "You are not leaving." "What?" "You are not leaving tomorrow, or the next day, or ever." His thumbs brushed her cheeks. "Because I love you too. I have loved you since you walked into my study and called me Your Grace with so much false confidence. I loved you when you defended me against my uncle. I loved you when you cried in the garden. I love you now." "Thorn, I hired you because I was afraid, but keeping you would have been the brave thing, and I am done being afraid." Then he kissed her. His mouth was soft and hard at the same time, gentle but demanding. She tasted whiskey and desperation. Her hands fisted in his shirt, pulled him closer. The kiss deepened. His hands slid into her hair, tilted her head. She made a sound, soft and needy. He pulled back just enough to speak. "Stay." "Yes." "Marry me. For real this time." "We are already married." "Not in any way that matters." He rested his forehead against hers. "Marry me in a church, with witnesses, with vows we both mean." "Yes." Tears slipped down her cheeks. "Yes, yes, yes." He kissed her again, deeper this time. She felt it all the way to her toes. When they finally broke apart, they were both breathing hard. "What day is it?" Adeline asked. "Day 3. We have 4 more days." "No," he smiled, a real smile. "We have forever." But they did not know that someone had heard everything, that Frederick Ashford stood outside the door, that his face was twisted with rage, that he had a plan. Yet something felt wrong to Adeline as she fell asleep in Thorn's arms, like a shadow had passed over the sun, but she was too happy to notice. Morning came bright and clear. Adeline woke in Thorn's bed. His arm was around her waist. She felt safe, warm, loved. "Good morning," he murmured against her hair. "Good morning." "No regrets?" "None." She turned to face him. "You?" "Only that I wasted 3 days pretending not to love you." She laughed, kissed him. "What do we do now?" "Now?" He smiled. "Now we tell my grandmother. She will be insufferable about it. Then we have a real wedding. Then we live happily ever after." "That simple?" "That's simple." But nothing was ever simple. They dressed and went downstairs together, hand in hand. Lady Margaret was in the breakfast room. She took one look at them and smiled. "Finally," she said, "I was beginning to think you were both idiots." "We are," Thorn said, "but we are idiots in love." "Good. That is the best kind." Lady Margaret poured tea. "Sit. Eat. Then we plan a wedding." They sat. The morning felt perfect, like a dream. Then the door burst open. Frederick Ashford stood there. His face was red, his eyes wild. "I knew it!" he shouted. "I knew this was a fraud!" Thorne stood slowly. "Get out." "No." Frederick pulled out a paper, waved it. "I have proof. She answered an advertisement. You hired her. This whole marriage is a sham." Lady Margaret's face went pale. "Frederick, what are you doing?" "Exposing the truth," he laughed. "You cannot inherit if your marriage is fake, Thorne, which means everything goes to me, as it should have from the start." Adeline's stomach dropped. She looked at Thorne. His face was stone. "That arrangement is over," Thorne said coldly. "We are getting married. For real." "Too late," Frederick crowed. "I have already sent word to the solicitors, to the papers. By tonight, all of London will know. You will be ruined, both of you." "You bastard," Thorne growled. He lunged for Frederick. Lady Margaret shouted. Adeline screamed. But Frederick was faster. He pulled out a pistol. Everyone froze. "You will not touch me," Frederick said. His hand shook. "You will sign over the estate, or I will tell everyone. Ruin you completely." "I would rather die." "That can be arranged." Frederick's finger moved toward the trigger. "No!" Adeline threw herself in front of Thorne. "Adeline, don't!" Thorne grabbed her, pulled her back. The gun went off. The sound was deafening. Smoke filled the room. For a moment, no one moved. Then Frederick dropped the gun. I did not mean." Thorne looked down. Blood spread across his shirt, bright red. "Thorne!" Adeline caught him as he fell. "No, no, no!" "I am fine," he whispered. His face was white. "You are not fine. You are bleeding." Tears poured down her face. Lady Margaret was screaming for help. Servants ran in. Someone tackled Frederick. Someone else pressed cloth to Thorne's shoulder. "The bullet went through," a servant said. "Clean. He will live." Adeline sobbed. "You will live." "Told you." Thorne smiled weakly. "I am fine. You are an idiot." "Your idiot." "Mine," she agreed. The doctor came. He cleaned the wound, stitched it, bandaged it. Thorne did not make a sound. "He needs rest," the doctor said, "but he will recover fully." Frederick was dragged away, still sputtering, still claiming he did not mean to shoot. Lady Margaret sat beside Thorne's bed. "That was foolish." "Which part?" "All of it." But she was smiling. "You could have died." "But I did not." "No, you did not." She looked at Adeline. "He has you to thank for that." Adeline held Thorne's hand. "He would have done the same for me." "Yes, he would." Lady Margaret stood. "I will give you two privacy. But Thorne—" "Yes?" "When you recover, we are having that wedding. A real one. And you are not allowed to die before you say, 'I do.'" "Yes, grandmother." She left. The room went quiet. "You scared me," Adeline whispered. "I scared myself." He squeezed her hand. "But it was worth it." "How?" "Because now everyone knows." He pulled her down, kissed her gently. "They know you are mine, that this is real. No more pretending." "No more pretending," she agreed. "How many days has it been?" 4. 3 more to go. "No," she shook her head. 3 days was the arrangement. But you are right. We have forever now." He smiled, closed his eyes. "Forever." Adeline watched him sleep, her hand in his, her heart full. This was not how the story was supposed to go, but it was better than any story she could have imagined. 3 days later, Thorne was back on his feet. The wound was healing. He was weak but alive, and it was day 7, the last day of their arrangement. Except it was not their last day anymore. "We should do something special," Adeline said at breakfast. "Like what?" "I do not know. Something to mark the day." Thorne smiled. "I have an idea." He took her to the chapel on his estate. It was small, old. Ivy grew up the stone walls. "This is where my parents married," he said, "and their parents before them." "It is beautiful." "Yes." He turned to her. "Marry me here, today." "Today?" "Why wait? We love each other. We want to be together. Let us do it now." Adeline's heart swelled. "Now?" "Right now. We have no witnesses. We have Mary, and my grandmother, and the vicar." "You planned this." "I hoped." He took her hands. "What do you say, Adeline Harper? Will you marry me? Really marry me?" "Yes." She kissed him. "Yes, yes, yes." They gathered in the chapel an hour later. Adeline wore the emerald dress. Thorne wore black. Mary stood beside Adeline, Lady Margaret beside Thorne. The vicar spoke the words. Old words, holy words. "Do you, Thorne Ashford, take this woman to be your wife?" "I do." "Do you, Adeline Harper, take this man to be your husband?" "I do." "Then by the power vested in me, I pronounce you man and wife." Thorne kissed her, soft and sweet. She tasted salt, realized she was crying. "Why are you crying?" he whispered. "Because I am happy." "Good. So am I." They signed the papers, made it official, real. When they stepped outside, the sun was setting. Gold light painted everything beautiful. "Day 7 is over," Adeline said. "Yes." "So technically our arrangement is complete." "Yes." "Which means I am supposed to leave." Thorne pulled her close. "You are not leaving." "I know," she smiled up at him. "But someone should tell that to day 7. Day 7 can go to hell." She laughed. "What about day 8? "Day 8? He grinned. "Day 8 is ours, and day 9, and every day after." "Every day," she agreed. They walked back to the house together. The sky turned dark. Stars came out, one by one, like tiny promises. "Thorne," Adeline said. "Yes?" "Who said it was fake?" He stopped walking, looked at her. "What?" "Our marriage. Who said it was fake?" Understanding dawned in his eyes. "No one. Not anymore." "That is right." She kissed him. "Because it never was. Not really. From the moment you chose me, this was real." "I did choose you." He cupped her face. "I will always choose you." "Good, because I choose you too." They stood there under the stars. Two people who had pretended so hard that they made it true. Love was strange like that. It could hide in business arrangements, in fake marriages, in 7 days that turned into forever. "We should go inside," Thorne said finally. "Why?" "Because I want to carry my wife over the threshold." "We already live here." "I do not care." He swept her into his arms. She laughed, held on tight. "You are going to hurt your shoulder," she protested. "Worth it." He carried her through the door, up the stairs, to their room, their bed. "Welcome home, Duchess Ashford," he whispered. "I am already home." She pulled him down. "I have been since day 1. 1 year later, Adeline stood in the garden. Her hand rested on her round belly. The baby kicked, strong and sure. "Are you all right?" Thorne appeared beside her. He always appeared when she needed him. "Perfect," she smiled. "Just thinking." "About what?" "About day 7. That was a year ago." I know, she leaned into him, but it feels like yesterday. Do you regret any of it? No, she looked up at him. Do you? Only that I did not ask you to stay sooner. You asked when you were ready. I almost lost you. But you did not. She touched his face. I am here. I am staying. Forever. Forever, he repeated, like a vow. The baby kicked again. Thorne's hand covered hers. His eyes went soft. She is strong, he said, like her father. No, like her mother. Adeline laughed. We do not know if it is a she. I know. He kissed her forehead. She will have your eyes, and your courage, and your kindness. And your stubbornness. Obviously. They stood together in the garden. The sun was setting again. It always seemed to be setting or rising, never just still. Adeline, Thorne said. Yes? Thank you. For what? For answering the advertisement. For staying when you could have left. For loving me when I did not deserve it. You deserve it. She turned in his arms. You deserve everything. I have everything. He rested his forehead against hers. I have you. Yes, she kissed him. You do. Somewhere in the house, Mary was singing. Lady Margaret was probably terrorizing the new cook. The tenants were safe and fed. The estate was thriving. And Adeline was home. Not the house, not the title, not the money. Home was this man, this life, this love. What are you thinking now? Thorne asked. That I would do it again. Do what? Answer the advertisement. Pretend to be your wife. Fall in love with you. All of it. Even the getting shot part? Especially that part, she smiled. It made for a good story. The best story. Our story. Yes, he kissed her, soft and slow. Ours. The stars came out one by one. The world kept turning. And in a stone house in the English countryside, two people who started as strangers became something more. They became forever. And it all started because someone needed a fake wife for 1 week. But on day 8, she was still there. And when he asked why, she smiled and said, Who said it was fake? Because some things that start as lies become the truest things of all. Like love. Like home. Like them.